Hello everyone, this is Yogesh Bagul. This is the fourth video of networking course, and today we will going to learn practically on live system that how to assign IP address to your Windows system. So even if you have Windows 98 XP or Windows 7 Vista, now latest version is Windows 11. Right now I am using Windows 10. So you have to reach up to this network adapter Windows, and then you can assign the IP address. So I'm going to show you practically. Let me share with you my screen. So here we go. Okay, so just reach up to this network connection, up to this icon. Okay, then right click on this icon and then click on the property, select IPv4, again on property. So right now this machine is having this manual IP address. Okay, if you want to use, there is one server that is DHCP, Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol, which assigns the IP address and which fill up this form. Okay, it gives IP address, subnet mask, default gateway, DNS server address, the alternate DNS server address. So we will going to understand this window. Okay, so how to use that DHCP server? Just click over here. And if you click on this OK icon, if DHCP server is there in that particular network, then it will fill up this form. But right now, if you want to assign IP address manually, let's say for private class A, or private address of class B, or private address of class C, then you can just assign over here. But as I mentioned in the last video, IP address must be means how to form a network or how to add device into the network. So that time I had shared with you the 4-step, and then in that 4-step I had shared that how to that IP address must be of same network. Now if your machine is using class B private IP address, and if your network is this 172.16.0.0, this is the network address, and from that network if this IP address is available okay, and from this IP address if you want to give this, now this is just the IP address. Now IP address is having two parts, and how to identify those two parts? The one part is the network part and the other one is the host part, that we identify with the help of subnet mask. Right now I am pressing the tab key from the keyboard, it will automatically detect the subnet mask. So we will going to learn in depth about this IP address, and there will be many videos on the IP address. So IP address is a huge topic in the CCNA course. So in the next course you learn in depth about the IP address. Excuse me. So now what is this default gateway? If this machine is happy with this network only, means whatever the resources this machine needs, it's all in this network only, then this machine no need to worry about. Okay, but if this machine wants to go into the another network, then you mention the gateway over here, and in most of the cases the gateway's address is of which device that you may be thinking. So it is the address of a device, and that device job is to connect different network. Just like if you are in a room and if you know the door, that how to go outside that particular room, so you will going to use the door, and that door address for this machine is the gateway of that particular device. Now I will not take too much footage, and I will explain that means I will share with you the device name, and that device name is router. Router help us to go into the another network. Okay, so we mention or we gives router IP address over here in the default gateway section. Okay, so I explained DHCP server, IP address and subnet mask, and the default gateway means a device which help us to enter into the other network, and in the most of the cases that device is a router. And many people think that if they are having an internet connection, and that internet connection for that internet service provider gives us the one device, and that device name is famous with so many names, adapter or access point or router. That in 2023, that device is a combination of multiple devices. It is having switch, access point, router, again modem. So minimum 4 devices are there. So that device IP address, and that device is very smart. The DHCP server is there, and that internet service provider provide that device, and that device will configure everything. That device fill up just this form. Now the fourth step, that is sorry, DNS server. So the DNS server job is just like for your understanding, how we enter any new phone number into our system. We are link that phone number with the name, and we use our contact and we add that number into our contact list. In the same way, if you are purchasing if you want to launch your website, so you need to have hosting, you need to purchase hosting as well as domain, and that domain comes from this DNS server, that is domain name system. Again, if you are working in a company, already working in the company, the private DNS server also got created, and we teach how to create DHCP server, DNS server, and so many web server, mail server in the Linux course. So we will teach you in all those things, how to create DNS or any server in the Linux course. But right now the DNS server is having IP address, links to name, and name to IP address, and the DNS server job is to translate, or the exact word is, it converts IP address into name, or name to IP address. The best word that DNS server, to explain about the DNS server, is DNS server resolve name to IP and IP to name. Okay, so we mention, if you are having 2 DNS server, then we mention over these 2 IP addresses of these 2 server, the primary or the preferred DNS server or the alternate DNS server. If you click on this advanced button, Windows tried to copy DNS server. They had created this Windows Internet Naming System, but that got failed. That is not successful. So they are using the net bias. So if you connect 2 Windows system to each other, they will with the help of net bias, they will be able to communicate directly, even without DNS server, with the name to each other. You can directly access that machine with the name, but because of whom? With the help of this net bias. Okay, so we are not going into that topic. If you need, I hope I am able to explain you about this form or this window. So IP address, subnet mask, default gateway. In the most of the cases, it is the address of IP address of a router. Router help us to connect different network, and DNS help us to resolve name into IP, IP into name. So why we are giving DNS address? If you don't give DNS address, you will not able to open any website. But fortunately, these internet service provider select this. Means you just need to select sorry, this option, and that device will assign this. Just fill up this form. So I hope I am able to explain you everything about the network. So let's see in the next video with my clear throat and clear voice, because I'm not feeling well. So in the next video, we will going to learn more about how to assign IP address graphically as well as through command line, because Linux works best with the commands. So that's why there is so much demand for Linux courses. If you have that skill, then you have a job. So right now we are in the basic course of networking. So stay tuned and learn from this video course. And if you have any doubt, just mention that those questions in the comment box. Thank you so much.